KABULETA came out to caution General Moses Kainerugaba that the entitlement he exposes should stop. Gone are the days when the son of the President Moses Kainerugaba was spoken about in high regard with good manners. Ever since he entered partisan politics, because he lacked the charisma of swing the person, because they spent a lot of billions of money of trying to popularize him, which failed, is now taking a dangerous turn of intimidating each and everyone to submit. KABULETA said these statements.
MUHOOZI is not going to be anywhere near leadership in this country. And he continues proving it. I've told you before that he's a mirage. You know what a mirage is? When you're driving on a rainy day and it looks like there's a pool of water in front of you from a distance. When you get there, there's nothing. That's what MUHOOZI is. So he's going to be somebody of it. He's going to have influence and do all these things as long as his father is still alive. But he really is a smoke screen. He's going nowhere and continues to trade. Lukwago was just doing the work of a lawyer. He's basically just a lawyer. He was just serving papers. Just serving papers on behalf of his client. Now, those are simple processes of court and so on. MUHOOZI could have handled that in any way, even chosen not to go to court, whatever it is he wanted, since he thinks he's, like a king, supreme leader and all that. But now arresting the man who is serving papers, it just shows he doesn't know anything about the processes of government. All he knows is entitlement, raw power and so on. And being a son of his father, he has not learned anything from his father because, his father has the ability to exercise power, but he doesn't do it like that. And I don't know if when Museveni sees his son, he thinks that there's any chance that that boy is going to be president.
But it's not concerning that he can do such a thing.
It's
and get away with it.
He's going to get away with everything as long as the father is there. You wait when the father is not there. There's nothing to get away from. And all the people who are scared, thinking that they are brained in the future, post-Museveni rise with MUHOOZI, I'm telling you, are backing up the wrong tree. That is a tree that is taking you nowhere. Look elsewhere, because you will back up that tree and then you will end up with nothing. Because he continually proves himself to be not the kind of person who can run a country. Now, who arrests a lawyer for serving papers and then goes and says you're going to teach him Swahili and all that? But I don't want to waste any time with MUHOOZI because in my mind, he does not exist as the morning after. Okay? Actually, his father is more relevant in the morning after than his son. So in my mind, he doesn't exist. So let's not waste time with him and let's go to things that actually matter.
That is KABULETA. KABULETA, by the way, is a good orator, very knowledgeable when he speaks. Maybe people have not given him so much attention. He spoke about the entitlement. A person like people like Moses Kainerugaba are not fit to become presidents because they lack the attachment to the country. I know General Museveni, we may want General Museveni to go, but MUHOOZI in the most unlikely event, MUHOOZI becomes the president. In the most unlikely, it will be a sign that maybe God is punishing us, or God wants us to wake up to do certain things. Because he doesn't have the attachment of a country. A person who has never looked for a job. A person who grew up in state house almost his entire life. Even when he was commemorating his 12th birthday. As Kadogos were coming out from the bush fighting in military paraphernalia for him, he was so smart. Never held a gun. I highly think that in the competition in the UPDF, General Museveni didn't have Museveni. If General MUHOOZI didn't have Museveni as his father, I doubt that he would become a CDF. Some CDFs, even in General Museveni's army, have worked. They deserve the positions. Okay, it is the truth. I don't think that it will be at that high level. Good presidents know how it feels to stay hungry. Good presidents know how it feels to walk barefooted. All people have brought genuine revolution and change that is desired in a country. At a certain point, to know what it feels like staying hungry, what it feels like staying without water. Even China, Deng Xiaoping, who lifted China from poverty, almost 600 million people. Then the way he grew up is so very different. Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore, they have a different history. So a person who was born by a revolutionary, because General Museveni is a revolutionary, just that in the overstay of power, he has made him now undo even the little good things that he has been done. Now, even a person comparing General Museveni's government to Idi Amin's Obote, it's in itself shows that we have failed as a country, because a person who came as a revolutionary, speaking about forceful disappearances, speaking about Pandagali, now that is heading a government that does the same through drones and etc. It is so unfortunate. And having a son who, by the way, I think, if I was General MUHOOZI, even when I want to be president, I would come out as a new dawn, okay, of changing things, not even to backtrack the small achievements we had gained under General Kaguta Museveni. Because there were some small gains which are now, we are losing to General MUHOOZI, who does everything at will without people calling him to order. So for me, one, I think it is time for our country to have a great conversation on which way to take, because as time goes by, we shall wake up when it's too late, when the country has gone into turmoil, and it's very possible countries have done so. Even our neighbors, Sudan, etc., Central African Republic, Congo, etc., anything can happen to our country. Of course, as my parent is truly Mr. Makindi Sulaiman Maguli. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.